you only have one Caique parrot, known as a clown, and you are looking for a buddy for your Caique? Well, let's understand a little bit about what they are like, generally speaking, and then let's talk about what it would be like if you wanted to get them a buddy, but you wanted someone that was maybe less expensive, and let's say you were looking at a Green-cheek Conure, a Quaker, or a Senegal. What would work out? What would be a good pairing? Hi, I'm Kaylin, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond. Please be sure to get your copy on Amazon.com so you have your handbook to providing a quality life for your parrot so you can then have quantities of bliss. Let's see, on the left right there is Ketchup, and on the right is Hopper. And what they're going to teach you about Caiques is that they're very active. All right, but seriously, I mean they are, but Caique parrots are very social and very active. They are unintimidated, which can be good and bad. Now, more importantly, they are not going to be one-person parrots. That means that although most parrots live in flocks of 20, 200, 2,000, 20,000, they will still pick one buddy that is their mate, and that's the person they bond with the most. In this case, though, Caiques, while they do have a mate, they still will bond with others. Now, in the former case where they have one mate, one buddy, what happens is they pick a human. Don't eat my towel, please. Thank you. And that human becomes their BFF. A one-person parrot really bonds to that one person. It is their creature that they consider their bonded mate, often for life. And at that point, sometimes, depending on the species, like an Amazon parrot, they can actually be mean or aggressive towards other creatures, human or parrot, especially if they feel like it is a threat to their bond. So Caiques are not like this. That means that they're really active, and that means that even when they're bonded, they're still going to seek out friendships with other parrots. So you're looking for a parrot to complement a parrot that's very active, unintimidated, and who is going to go and try to befriend anyone he or she finds. That means that matching their personalities when you get a friend can be a little tricky. So let's talk about whether or not a Green-cheek, a Quaker, and a Senegal would be a good pairing. The thing about the Green-cheek Conure is they are more bonded with their one mate, and they too can be pretty active and very social. Honestly, one problem I possibly foresee, because my Caiques do not hang out with my Green-cheek Conures, so I can't speak to it, but I would expect that I might have a butting of heads because, want to step up? No? Oh, you do? Hi. Hi, sweetie, how are you? Because they're both kind of like strong personalities and they both want to rule the show. It's like having sort of like two Hitlers, two different birds that are going to try to be in charge. So either they get along really well or you might have problems there. My Caiques do interact with my golden conure. They sort of interact with my Caique parrots, but that's like, they kind of more coexist and there aren't really any problems, but they don't really bond and connect. They do a little bit with the golden conure because she is so incredibly social. She is not a one-person parrot like them. So I would say golden conure would be a possibility, but a Green-cheek I would kind of shy away from a little. Another reason I would shy away a little is because a Green-cheek Conure is actually half the size of the Caique. Now, if your Green-cheek Conure is really strong, like has a strong personality and very bold, it may not matter, but it can be a little risky. Next, a Quaker. You know, I have worked with Quakers, but I don't know them well enough, and they too are very social. Because they are very social, I think that maybe they would get along, you know, they kind of both have that more not one person oriented or one bird oriented, but multiple birds. So that could be really good. But again, the Caiques are bigger, and so that could be problematic. I don't, you know, that wouldn't be my first choice. How about a Senegal? Well, a Senegal would be kind of interesting. With all three of these birds, they would have similar diets, which is going to make life easy because it's not like you have to separate them to feed them so that one doesn't eat more fat, something like that. But, you know, I don't know. The Senegals are not as physically oriented. Look at these guys. When they play, they tumble with each other and on each other. They kind of roughhouse. They tumble around. They're like, I have described them before as being the epitome of knowing what fun is, and if you don't know what fun is, if you need fun in your life, they will teach you. A Senegal isn't really like that as much. They're a little more aloof, they're a little more chill, kind of like in the flow, and so I don't know if those personalities would match. So unfortunately, a golden conure would be more expensive considerably than a Caique, maybe twice the price. So that makes it tricky. I would try to see if by any chance there was a Caique at a rescue, like the Bird Gardens of Naples. I think they're awesome. And if you got a Caique from a rescue, you're not going to be paying the same price as you would from a retail store. Otherwise, you know, maybe try to rehome one, try to get one that's being rehomed. The problem is most people kind of like love their Caique. Some don't. But most really do, and so I don't think they really get rehomed or given to rescues very often, and that's part of why their price seems to keep going up. They're a very loving bird, they're a very fun bird, they're a very endearing bird, and it's hard to just have one because they are so social. When you have two, they entertain each other. Like I said, they roughhouse, they play. They're like, life is grand. And I think just having one, you'd have to really make sure that you're spending a lot of time with them. So I think it's wonderful to try to find a friend for them. And they're cracking me up because they're like, do we want to get down or do we want to stay here? I'm going to turn the shower on and they're going to love that. So I want them up there. But anyway, so there's some ideas. I know I don't have an ideal for a buddy for a Caique. I do tend to have the mindset that the best buddy is the same species. The same species parrots always relate to each other in ways that I don't really see them relating to other birds, but there are always exceptions. I have an exception with my golden conure and her best friend, which is an Amazon. So you never know, and you could always try something like a Green-cheek Conure, but I would try to get something a little more spunky because these guys are so spunky and they're so active. They're so full of life, and I'm not saying Green-cheek Conures aren't. I'm saying very few birds are like these guys, and they are awesome. Thank you for joining me in this feathered video. If your parrot needs some immune system support, be sure to get Tink's Must Have Parrot Relief on parrotbliss.com. It is CBD and hemp oil. And if you have any questions about parrots, please be sure to comment below, and I will catch you in the next feathered video.
Pretty wings. Good morning, Emerald. What beautiful wings. Hi, guys.